Chapter 13. Education in Denmark. Education is compulsory in Denmark. This means that children must have at least 10 years schooling. Actually, all citizens have the right to take an education, youngsters, adults and the elderly, men and women. And it is common to educate yourself throughout your life.
By far the majority of children begin their schooling in primary and lower secondary schools, the folkeskole. They go to school for 10 years. After 10 years of primary and lower secondary education, the youngsters continue in various directions according to their interests and abilities. Some go to upper secondary school, others choose a vocational education. The majority of youngsters continue their education after primary and lower secondary school. These youngsters here have chosen an upper secondary school education. The upper secondary school education normally takes 3 years. This education provides access to higher education at university or the like. When I've completed upper secondary school, I'd like to study either linguistics or the history of language at university. Upper secondary education is free, and students who have turned 18 normally receive financial support from the state whilst they study. It's called a study grant. The study grant actually means a great deal to me because I no longer live with my parents, and if I didn't receive any financial help, I really wouldn't be able to manage.
I received the minimum study grant available. It's not a large sum for me because I spend a relatively large amount of money every month. What I mean is that I have an after-school job so that I can have enough money every single month. After upper secondary school, youngsters can apply for other various types of further education. For example, to become a nurse, childcare worker or school teacher. Or they can apply for an education at university. Education is almost always free, and you can normally receive the study grant whilst you study.
After lower secondary school, youngsters can also choose a vocational education and learn the more practical trade of a craftsman. There are many kinds of vocational education. The programs alternate between studying and work experience in companies. I've chosen a vocational school because I want to do something where I can use my hands. I've also tried an academic program at a business school. Of course, it's good to have that to fall back on, but it was just a bit too quiet for me. I need something where I can show my creativity. These kinds of education are also free. The youngsters receive study grants when they are at school and have turned 18. When they're in a work-study program, they receive wages from the company. But not only young people educate themselves. Adult men and women take further education as well.
Må jeg smage? Tak.
I didn't want to be an unemployed father of 4, or for my children to also be unemployed. No way. Right from the start, I put my foot down and said, education, education, education. But again, you have to be good at Danish. Knowing the Danish language is so important. It's almost like needing oxygen to breathe. If, as an adult, you want an education or to further educate yourself, there are many opportunities to take advantage of. If you want to educate yourself, you can inquire at the Municipal Job Center and obtain advice about what opportunities are available. If you have a foreign education, there is an authority called Sirius, where you can apply to have your qualifications assessed and recognized in Denmark. This will also tell you what you need to do so your education can be used in Denmark.
The documentation you need to submit primarily includes diplomas, transcripts, and possibly course descriptions. If you have changed your name, you must also attach the name change certificate or a marriage certificate showing this is why you changed your name. Unless the documents are in one of the Scandinavian languages or in English, French or German, then it's your responsibility to have them translated. Our goal is to process applications within 1 to 2 months.
You do not need to be a child or a young person to go to school and learn something new. Everyone in Denmark has the right to an education. Women and men, children, youngsters and adults.